What is common between ants and salesmen? How does a Stanford neuroscientist meet an Indo-Greek king who lived more than 2,000 years ago? Intrigued? Well, this is a story about ants, salesmen, brains, and the illusion of control. Neuroscientist Robert Sapolsky uses the traveling salesman problem to explain a tricky question. What's the shortest route for a traveling salesman to visit a set of cities and return home? With 4 cities, it's easy. With 20? Good luck. There are more possible paths than atoms in the universe. It's what mathematicians call a combinatorial explosion. Every new city multiplies the number of routes dramatically. A computer would need ages to crunch them all. But here's the twist: ants solve this kind of problem using nothing but scent trails. Each ant follows a simple rule: drop pheromone, follow the pheromone. Sounds familiar? Yes, as they say, to succeed, follow the elders, don't go stray. More ants on a path? Stronger scent. Stronger scent? More ants follow. Over time, the colony discovers the optimal route, without anyone planning it. Sapolsky calls this emergence, complex solutions arising from simple rules and local interactions. Your brain isn't run by a tiny you at the control center. It's 86 billion neurons, each obeying biology, chemistry, and physics. No one neuron knows who you are. Not a single one. But together? They create memory, personality, joy, rage, and the illusion of a self that makes choices. Long before neuroscience, Eastern thinkers challenged the idea of a self in control. According to the concept of anatta in Buddhism, there is no unchanging self, only a stream of causes and effects. The Milinda Panha, an ancient Buddhist text dating back to around the 1st century BCE, records a profound dialogue between the Indo-Greek king Milinda, also called Menander I, and the Buddhist monk Nagasena. In one of its most famous passages, Nagasena uses the metaphor of a chariot to explain the doctrine of anatta. Just as a chariot is merely a convenient label for a collection of parts, wheels, axle, and frame, so too, he argues, the self is a label for the 5 aggregates: body, feelings, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. Taoism's Wu Wei teaches action through alignment, not force. You don't control the stream, you flow with it. Here is a memorable line from Tao Te Ching: the sage does nothing, yet nothing is left undone. These teachings echo Sapolsky's claim: our actions emerge from conditions, not from a free, independent will. Nearly 3 centuries ago, the Scottish philosopher, David Hume had already recognized this view. He stated, liberty is the freedom to act according to our will, but that will is itself caused. He believed free will was a label we apply when we don't see the full chain of causes. And more than a century ago, Friedrich Nietzsche too rejected free will. He saw actions arising from inner drives, what he called the will to power. Sapolsky isn't saying we're robots. He's saying we're systems, shaped by biology, childhood, culture, and randomness. Yes, even randomness. This view calls not for despair, but for compassion. In both Mahayana and Theravada schools of Buddhism, actions arise from causes and conditions. Blame is reframed not as personal fault but as part of a wider web of interdependence. Blame becomes less justifiable, and compassion more appropriate. So, we need justice that heals, not punishes. Taoism tells us to stop forcing control and start observing patterns. You don't need to force the river to flow. You only need to understand how it flows. Ants don't plan. Neurons don't choose. Yet together, they build minds. Maybe you are not choosing your path. Maybe the path is choosing you.